So it was billed as a heavyweight encounter between England and Germany, but only one team showed up. And unfortunately, that was England. That's right, folks, back once again with another review, of course, looking back at England's win over Germany in Euro 2020 to put the English into the quarter-finals. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, if you're new, where have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe button, get your banger today with all things Euro 2020 related, blabber related. Whoa, football, we're going to know here, boys. And no one Roosties, of course, my Germany are going to go home. We just didn't have enough room in the trophy cabinet to stick another bloody European trophy in there. But, of course, maybe now England can go the distance and actually bring that bad boy home. We'll take a look at that in a minute. A big shout out to the VIPs, and of course they are the patrons. So much love to you guys, and of course a big shout out, of course, to anyone who has newly subscribed. And if you are, of course, thinking about subscribing, hit that button. You're bang up to date. Of course, even though Germany are out, I'm still going to cover Euro 2020 to the bitter end. Of course, let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, and have a little look back at that game. Of course, 2-0 in the end. England absolutely were clinical. They had the clinical stuff in the end. They didn't boss possession. That went in favour of the Germans, 54-46. But the goals that matter, the opportunities that matter, the goals came from England. Raheem Sterling in the 75th minute, before Harry bloody Kane broke the deadlock. I knew he had a goal in him. I did know he had a goal in him. But hey, you know what? We will talk about my feelings in a minute, because they do matter. They do bloody matter. But let's talk about the game, and we'll talk about personal sides to this in a minute. So the game, Germany were at the races, but they had a couple of golden opportunities to get goals in this. But when I watched this, I mean, we did do a watch along, played a bit of banter as well, a bit of fun along the way. But when I watched this, Germany didn't have that desire. The spark wasn't there. The free kicks were dire. We had two really good free kicks, a bit too close to the money maybe, to the edge of the box. But we didn't really. Usually there was always a bit of spark about Germany, a bit of fear, a bit of something. There wasn't there. Even though we did have, I think, the better lineup when you looked at the starting 11s, and we'll look at those in a minute. Germany's did seem to be a more aggressive looking lineup, but it just didn't feel it. Maybe England were just too compact. Again, England yet to concede a goal in this Euros. They could do the distance. They might bore their way to the bloody final. They're boring us. Boring England. That's what they're going to call it. But it could be a successful boring England. Anyway, let's talk more about the game. 9 shots for the Germans today. 5 for England. Or actually 9 shots on target, should I say. Sorry, scrap that. 9 shots total. 3 of them on target. 4 of them off target. And of course 2 of them were blocked. As for England, 5 shots for them. 4 of them on target. Goodness gracious me. 1 off target. 2 of them in the back of the net. 3 corners apiece, of course. 11 free kicks for Germany, 9 going in favour of England. Did we see any woodwork hit? I don't think there was. Big chances though. England had 3 big chances, converted 2 of them, and of course missed 1 of them. Germany had 2 big chances and of course missed both of them. Got them both in the back of the net. It would have been 2-2. Unfortunately, no. Passes, 525 going in favour of the Germans, 445 for the English. 84% success rate with the passing for Germany, 83% with, of course, for England as well. The Aeroduels, we all know about that, was bossed by England. They actually look very good at the back. Defensively, they played a very defensive 11. No Foden, no Sancho, no Mount, no Grealish. They were all on the bench. They were sort of party pieces for later on, but guess what? They got over the line with of course 2 goals. Let's take a look at the old shot grid right here, right now. Of course, this is your English. Of course, these are the goals in amongst it. There's number 10, Harry Kane. Of course, what number? Sterling. I think he must be up there. You know, it's number 10's Harry Kane. Sorry, number 10 Sterling. Goodness gracious me. Number 9 is Harry Kane right there. Oh, bloody hell. Where have you gone? There you're bloody gone. I was going to zoom in for you, but I can't zoom in. So the number 9 is Kane, puts it in the back of the net. Number 10, of course, was Sterling. And, of course, number 10 with Sterling with a long shot here. Number 6 as well. Who was that? Must have been a game-changing substitute. It was Harry Maguire with an effort. A couple of efforts as well for Harry Maguire. As for the Germans, they did pepper them a lot of the shots within the box. A couple of them on target. A couple of long-range efforts as well. But ultimately, not good enough. Germany were not great today. They were very dire. This is the heat map. Of course, this is Pickford between 6 coming down that right-hand side more often than not, which of course the Bukayo Saka area. I thought he actually had a bit more. They've given him a harsh rating here around about the 6s. I thought he did enough to warrant a spot in the next round, depending on how Southgate goes, if he goes defensively for this one or if he does decide to play a bit more aggressively. He's earned himself a new contract apparently, so he's going to be home and hosed no matter what. But of course, going through the difficult one, the Germans now they've got to do the easy one, so-called easy one against the Swedes or the Ukrainians as well. But anyway, this is the possessions, of course. As for the Germans, again, Neuer with a lot of touches, and again, a lot of the possession kept in the defensive third, which is not the way to do it. And when you look back at the numbers of the possession, 54% possession for the Germans, but as you can see from this image, most of that is in the defensive third, which is not where we wanted to be. If the Germany of old, we would see a massive orange square in this middle, not just back here, but we were pegged back. Were we pegged back? No, we weren't. It's frustrating to watch on a German level. This is the touch map here for England. As you can see, coming down that right hand side, Saka getting involved, a lot of crosses, a lot of shots as well for him, trying to penetrate the German backline. As for the Germans, again, just pegged back here. We couldn't. This is it. This is the frustrating times. We need to get Hansi Flick in, young, hungry manager that of course turned Bayern into a weapon of destruction in the old Champions League and the domestic league. Hopefully he could do that for the German team. It's an exciting turn now. It's not a question mark. We're not letting Joachim Löw go and thinking about who's going to come in, who's going to come in. There is a blueprint in place. Hansi Flick was, I think, an assistant manager, Joachim Löw, at some stage. And he's had his chance. He took Bayern. Of course, maybe it might have been a bit too easy for him, taking up such an already formidable team. Implemented his style of play. They went on an unbeatable run, of course, in the domestic league. And now he's going to have to take that mentality, take those tactics, take that ethos, and instill it in the German national team. There's still a load of young, hungry German players coming through the ranks that could revamp Germany just in time for Qatar next year. So let's move on. Forget about it. I'm not too disheartened. I'm a little bit gutted. But anyway, let's take a look at the starting 11s here. Of course, can't start with England. Pickford between 6, Stones, Maguire, Walker, and that's your back three. Rice, Phillips, made your domestic midfielders, with Trippier and Luke your fullbacks, with Sterling, Saka, and Kane up top. I'm laughing, but I shouldn't be. Neuer, Rudiger, Ginter, Hummels made up your back three. Kroos and Goretzka made up your midfield two, with Kimmich and Goossens on your fullbacks. Havertz, Muller, and Werner up top. Was frustrating. I thought Werner would take his chance. We did see Henderson coming on for a little bit, and Grealish. That were the only two subs. That's for Germany. Emre Can, Musala, Sane, Gnabry coming on 4 subs for Germany, but they were to little or no effect. As you can see from the old match ratings here, they gave Muller 6.3, Werner 6.0. 6.3 for Saka, which is very, very harsh. Your man of the match, I think Sterling was your man of the match. Stones at the back here. 7.4, 7.6 for Pickford, 7.7 for Maguire. Get out of it. I think really your midfield two here were much better than 7.1. They broke up a lot of play. They did a lot of the donkey work. They don't get the credit for it. So Sterling, I should get much more than that. Kane as well. I don't know. As for the Germans, nobody showed up today. They were very, very hugely disappointing, especially this core here. You know, Kroos toothless with his free kicks. Goretzka didn't do jack shit. Muller with a glorious opportunity to make it 1-1. Breakaway opportunity, but he fluffed his lines, as did Timo Werner. They should be all on negatives, to be fair. And down here is a timeline of the events, as of course what took place earlier today. Take a look at what's been said on social media, and there's a whole bunch of them, not Bradley Dack. We're going to start with Rocky Gill, said massive win and great to see Kane scoring to silence the critics. Muller missed one of the easiest chances you'll ever see. England have a great chance to make the finals with all the best teams on the other side of the draw and home advantage. Indeed they do. And said, congratulations England, you deserve your move to the next round. Good luck in the quarterfinals. Hopefully that's it for them in the quarterfinals. Ravia Singh Rana said, bad luck this time. Germany did its best, but England made it. Congratulations to England. I keep on believing in Germany. Well done. Good for you, fella. Siranesh said, Germany era has been ended. Great team and one of my favourites. Seeing Germany win 2014 World Cup is my greatest football moment ever. Respect, my brother. Samir said, to be honest, Germany didn't look like a team that could win anything today. Outplayed by England in all departments. I wouldn't say that. I just think they just didn't take their scoring chances. Andrew Luhu said, got to say, well done England. I completely wrote you off after seeing the initial formation. Rotto said, lucky win for England. Popanane said, Low has made Germany and their fans suffer long enough. This man started Werner and took off Muller when it was too late. He would not be missed. Good in by, he said. Christian said this. Yes, very fair. Germany has been shown in the last 2 games why they should have gotten rid of Low after Russia 2018 and given a new coach that time to build a competitive team. Germany was lucky not to get humiliated by Hungary. England has done enough to get by, but I expect more. Shauna said, congratulations England, Raheem Sterling. Shaw superb, and Kane now on the board. Well done. Germany had their chances but have been lacking in this tournament. lacking in this tournament. I am sure they will be back. Samina Salam said, Germany era has been ended. Massive win against Germany. Congratulations, England. You deserve your move to the next round. I'm sure somebody just said that. This is the bracket at the moment. As you can see, England go through to, of course, take on the winners of Sweden and Ukraine. And, of course, that match will be in Rome. The first time England have been outside of bloody Wembley. So on the other side, we have Belgium up against Italy. We have the Swiss against the Spanish. And we have the Czechs up against the Danes. It is very, very much in England's hands to get to that final. And, of course, take on probably either the Belgians, the Italians, or the Spanish. We could be set ourselves up for a bit of a fairy tale end to this tournament with England. But we'll have to see, of course, whenever that comes around. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. There you bloody have it. England are through. Germany go home. And, of course, it could be on its way home. But, unfortunately, they've got to go to Rome first and take on the winners of Sweden and Ukraine. Can they do it? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Is it England's year at long last? Is it a golden generation? Will Southgate get the plaudits? Of course, a lot of people have been on his back for his defensive attitude. And, again, defence wins championships, folks. And right here, right now, they've yet to concede a goal. And they're looking slowly but surely the part. It could be the free-flowing goals of Belgium up against the stern defence of England in the final. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, give the video some love and smash the thumbs up. Smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, of course, Patreon as well. But until then, we'll see you soon. Until then, we are done.